Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Monger with you here today, coming at you from beautiful Thailand. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at the coin Cardano, and I am thankful to Cardano. It made me a ton of money in the last cycle. However, I'm not so hot on it today, and I will be going into the metrics and why I feel that way. And I do like Charles Hoskinson. I believe he has got a great cause. But I'm not going to ignore the data, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first of all, let's take a look at the charts. So here we have it. This is the weekly chart, and we can see that it is not looking that good. As you know, most big, large altcoins have come up near their recent all-time highs, or in some cases they've surpassed them, and Cardano has been floundering there. It did have a nice move up from like 32 cents, where we can see it broke out here, but since then it hasn't been doing that well, and that to me is a cause for concern. Now, if you're looking to possibly take a position on it because you still like it and you believe that there's a hype train, and let's face it, there's a lot of like really highly convicted Cardano fanboys that really like this coin, and you know, through their push and hype, maybe it could get pumped up when retail comes back into the market and they look at the chart and they see it's cheap. They might rush in and buy it. So we can see here it got up to like about, if I remember correctly, it got up to like 320 or something, but it's showing right here it got up to over $3 in the last cycle, and it's currently trading at 86 cents. So you know, we're looking at, you know, it doubling from here to get back up there, and we can see it's right now it is looking like it's going to, in a very key point here. I mean, we can see these trend lines that I drew. I got two here. I got one touching this one and then cutting through here, and it looks like it's wanting to get above that. And then we have the next one here, which is like around 90 cents. So maybe if we can see it break out above here, we can see it get back up to where it was here. When was that? It got all the way up there in November 24. It got up to about $1.32, $1.33. You know, maybe it gets up there, but yeah, I mean, if you're bullish on Cardano and you like this coin and you want to support it, okay. But as an investment, I'm not feeling that warm and fuzzy on it, even though I might make a trade on it, but I will not be allocating a lot of capital to this time around. Just because, like I said, let's take a look at why. So let's go and look at this. So I asked this question: how many active users are on Cardano? And it came back with this figure of 28,594. Okay, and then I said, okay, well, I'm like, divide the market cap by Cardano daily active users to give me a value of each one's worth. And it came back with this staggering figure. Based on its market cap, each user is valued at over $1 million US. And that is mind-boggling. Come on, that is not okay, guys. That's a staggering figure. It makes me believe, you know, based on users, this coin is probably one of the most overvalued coins there is. So to make a fair comparison, I said, okay, do the same calculation for Solana. So we only had, what was it, 20, we'll round up, we'll be nice. We'll say there's 29,000 active users, okay? So I compared to Solana. Solana has 2,420,000 daily active addresses. Can you say night and fucking day? Jesus Christ. So, based on its market cap divided by those users, we have an average user price, which is daily active user, which would be valued at $52,000. So, one's valued at 52K per user, the other one's at over a fucking million. This makes me think, if we judge it by that, Solana is extremely undervalued. Extremely undervalued. And we could do the same thing for Ethereum, and Solana would blow it away, guys. Now, let's look at another thing that I asked it here. I asked, how many companies are using Cardano as a treasury asset? And currently, only one company, Reliance Global Group, has publicly been confirmed to use Cardano as a treasury asset as of late 2025, adding it to its digital asset treasury in September 2025. So I don't know if they hold other cryptos. It seems like they may, but there's only one company. So I asked, how many companies are using Solana as a treasury asset? And it says currently there's 19. So you got one company that's using Cardano as compared to 19 that are using Solana. I mean, another metric which makes you think, which one do you want to be holding? And let's face it, guys, this market has been driven by institutional demand. Retailers are not back into the market heavily. It has been massively based around corporations, ETFs, that has been pushing the markets up. And you can't ignore that. So, Solana wins on this one big time as well. I mean, 1-19. Now let's look at this one, Cardano. How many Cardano ETFs have been filed in the U.S.? As of October 2025, only one spot Cardano. And it just so happens to be the Grayscale Cardano Trust. So they're just rolling that one over, guys. And remember what happened to Bitcoin and Ethereum when they rolled those over? And because they had high fees, and nobody wanted to pay Grayscale's high fees, and they rolled them into other ones, well, guess what? Right now, currently, Cardano's only got one. There's no place to roll them over. So right now, I don't see potentially much demand for that. And that's just a fact, guys. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't hate on any coin. I'm just an investor. And I'm looking at these facts. Okay? Let's take a look at what we have now for Solana. So there's only one, Grayscale, and it's just being transferred over into this. So it's really nothing. Let's look at this other one. So how many Solana ETFs have been filed in the U.S.? So as of October 3rd, 2025, 8 spot Solana ETFs have been filed with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission for approval. Okay? And they will also, with many including staking provisions for yield generation. So not only do we have 8 compared to 1, which really isn't 1 because they got a Grayscale, we'll call it Grayscale here, that one's being, the Solana Grayscale is being converted over as well. So we have basically, if we cancel these ones out, Solana's got 7 and Cardano's got 0. Okay? And we can see some big names here, guys. Van Eck, 21 shares. Canary Capital, Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, big one. Fidelity, big one. CoinShares. I mean, Fidelity and Franklin Templeton, those are like well-known, big-name boys that have been in that have deep fingers in traditional markets with the older people and people that are in there that might be willing to to put some money into this ETF. Based on that data, I am much more bullish on Solana than I am on Cardano. You can't ignore those facts. Okay, so let's do a quick analysis in case you really want to be getting into this trade. Let's take a look at the fib levels on this, and I'm going to pull it down from where it ripped here. Actually, no, let's pull it down from where it ripped here on this bottom, since we can see it touched it here, here, here. So I'm going to pull it from here. Let's take a look at the fib levels and where it might be going to, and where you might want to be putting your orders in. So, well, first of all, you can see on these these diagonal trend lines, if this one breaks, we're looking at roughly around, I'd like to see it break above 86.75. The next level would be up here, like around 93. If you want to be more cautious to see if it breaks it, it might come up and it might break these and then come back down and touch it and then bounce. If you want to use that type of trade strategy, you could. I would be looking at, a profit taking point of around here, $1.33 of the previous high it hit. If you're looking for a further pullback, if you think we might see some downwards action, then I would be looking to put orders in here at this fib level at 82.25. 50% retracement would be down here at 76, call it 77. The golden pocket is currently at, call it 71. So you could put some staggered orders in on those levels if you're thinking it may be dropping, and those other numbers that I just mentioned if you're looking for a breakout. All right. Now, that's what I would do if you're really into Cardano and you're bullish on it. However, based on those metrics that I just showed you guys, I would be allocating more to Solana. I believe the ETFs are coming soon, and that is going to catch a bid, and I believe that's going to cause it to rip even more. All right, there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and monger on.